Social in association with houseofboxing.com and Empire Fight Store. We're here in Wembley. Carnage is about to unfold. Just when we thought Christmas may be free, it is not. December the 23rd we go. Anthony Joshua fights Otto Wallin. Deontay Wilder fights Joseph Parker. Daniel Dubois fights Jarrell Miller. Jai Opetaia fights Dmitry Bivol. Jai Opetaia fights Ellis Zorro. Dmitry Bivol fights Lyndon Arthur. The rest I'm sure everyone can look at. What's going on, mate? It's mad.
Yeah, it has been definitely the wildest, I guess, 7 days of, maybe even my existence in boxing. How things have come together, the speed they've moved, and some working parts still ongoing. I mean, it's been amazing. And I kind of feel like this is not a new era for boxing, but it's groundbreaking. I mean, the card's the best card I've ever seen, the best card I've ever worked on. But just the involvement in people, we work in a business that we know that we're driven financially and we're driven to provide the best opportunities for the fighters. But I've never really seen something come together at this speed and get done. Almost to a point where today we're on Wednesday, and it was, I think, Monday, where I was with George Roy, and it was kind of like the question was asked: can we do the presser next Monday instead of Wednesday? And it was like, no, the presser's on Wednesday. And he's done a great job in getting everything tied up from their end, and shout out to our team and everybody involved. It's been just an effort where historically you've got probably two of the biggest rivals. Everything was kind of dropped and put to the side. Wow. and done so, through His Excellency, who has just sort of said, I don't really care about the history. I want to bring this together for the good of boxing. Make it happen. That was the instruction, and everybody made it happen.
I suppose, what is the first you knew about it? I had an inkling something was going on when I interviewed you last week. We spoke and you said, look, not really. It's materialised very, very quickly. Like you say, you had your Monday thing. When was it that you sort of first thought, okay, this is real? Because I'm 6 weeks and no one's ever seen anything like it.
No, I mean, I think if you remember the conversations in Monaco, I said in an interview there were conversations going on about some of our fighters, potentially fighting on December 23. I can't remember if at that point AJ was even in the conversation list, but obviously from our side on this event, you've got the main event with AJ, we've got Dmitry Bivol, we've got Jai Opetaia, and that was probably 10 days ago, maybe those initial conversations were happening. But even on Monday, when I met His Excellency and Dr. Rekhan, we're still talking through, various, parts of the deal, the contract. I mean, I can't explain to you. I've never seen contracts be delivered, and agreed in this kind of time before. And, like I said, just shows you what can happen. I think that's one thing about which I've realised about this, is that actually when things come together, we can do great things, and he's brought it together, and I think that's his plan. So fight fans will win December 23rd. I've not seen anything like it. It's an unbelievable card, and could potentially lead to a lot more to come as well.
Before we talk politics, Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin. Otto number 2 with the IBF. Southpaw, why Otto?
I mean, there's a couple of reasons. When we talked about potential opponents, Otto Wallin was always on the list. He's just coming off a massive win in Russia against Gassiev. More importantly as well, he's IBF number 2. You've got Filip Hrgović there at IBF number 1. He's also on the card. And if the belts become available early next year, then it would be number 1 against number 2. If AJ beats Wallin, he puts himself in line to fight Hrgović for the vacant title. Obviously, parts of these conversations was to lead to the Deontay Wilder fight, which is still an absolute priority for us as well, and that's one of the reasons we're taking this fight. So Otto Wallin is the guy that was put forward. It made sense for us. AJ said, 6 weeks. Although it's 6 weeks, he's been training for a long time. He wanted to fight 3 times in 2023, which he's going to do, which is an incredible achievement in himself in this division. And he was ready to roll. He just said yes straight away.
How does that fight go? And I saw something online circulating that potentially there will be two fights with Deontay Wilder in 2024 in Riyadh. Are you on along with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of conversations ongoing. You know, we're focused on the Otto Wallin fight. I've made no secret. We want to fight. AJ wants to fight Deontay Wilder. We'd agreed to that fight in January. Everything slowed down, but now we see a route and a gateway to make that fight in 2024. So we'll have to see how those conversations go. His Excellency has made it clear that that's a fight that they would like to discuss. So would we. We get this fight done. We secure victory on December 23rd, and we're happy to move forward for that fight.
How does Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin go?
It's a tough fight. You know, Otto is a very, very skilled southpaw. You know, they've sparred rounds before, and he's coming off some good wins. He had a great fight against Tyson Fury, but more recently, that win in Russia against Gassiev was a big win on the road. So he'll be full of confidence, and this is a banana skin for AJ. So he's got to be switched on, and, you know, I think it's a tough fight.
Eddie, we've got to ask, Twitter is going absolutely mad. The first time ever that yourself and Frank Warren will be up on that press conference table. I can't believe, I'm sure if someone said a week ago that would be the case, you probably would have laughed. You say it's brought everyone together, but sure there's going to be some jibes in there. I mean, what are you expecting?
I think so. I mean, look, we jibe every day. I don't think that, you know, the way that this was brought together, this was an intention from people, you know, particularly in Saudi Arabia, to have jibes. This is a showcase of what can happen when people come together in boxing. So I think, you know, it's not a case of trying to now push that apart. We're always going to be rivals. I always want to beat him. He always wants to beat me. And, you know, we're standing here, an hour before the press conference. I've still never met him. Right? And it's crazy, really, when you think about it. I mean, we are the 2 biggest promoters in the UK. You know, I always back myself to be the biggest promoter in the world, but they've done an incredible job lately. And for 2 of the biggest promoters in the world not to have worked together, not to have done fights together. We've done fights, but we've never been sat on a top table. It is, you know, hand on heart, it is probably wrong for boxing. But that's the rivalry, and that's something that's kept us both competitive. And I think that has been good in a way for fight fans in the UK, because we've both wanted to outperform each other. We will always put the priority of the fighter first. We were presented with a great opportunity for Anthony Joshua, a great opportunity for Dmitry Bivol, a great opportunity for Jai Opetaia, and they were involved with the show. They were involved with, they've got fighters on the cards themselves. We come together. We started making, obviously Ellis Zorro's got an unbelievable opportunity. Like, if we didn't do this, we wouldn't be acting in the best interest of our fighter. That always comes first. We can't look at the relationship between us 2 and start making decisions to not progress a fighter's career or take opportunities away from them. But the way this was brought together, it probably needed someone like His Excellency to bring this together and say, God, almost like a guy's, I don't care less. The relationship or what's happened in the past, this is what we want to do. Do you want to be part of it? And for me, the answer is absolutely yes. Obviously, that's the same for Frank. And, you know, when I saw, you know, I had my opinions on the Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight. You know, when it was made, I didn't think it was going to be a competitive fight. But what I saw that night in terms of the staging and the presentation in Saudi Arabia, you know you have to be a part of that moving forward for the sport, and you have to be a part of that for your fighters. So, you know, my relationship with George has always been good. We've sat down, we've spoke sensibly, we've made fights when we can, but who knows what's going to happen now? You know, this could be the one that opens up more doors. We'll always be like this. You're never going to get him praising me and me praising, or no negativity. But right now on this project, we need that positivity, because this is a great opportunity for boxing.
Finally, from me, what is the broadcasting situation? It's still a little bit up in the air. I don't know whether it's going to be revealed at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Just on your side, what is it?
It won't be revealed today. Look, obviously, there's a number of fighters on the card with different network deals. AJ is exclusive to DAZN, and obviously that's got to be taken into consideration. At the moment, everybody's working extremely amicably from all sides. There's not going to be any issues on it. it just won't be announced today, and it will be announced very soon. And I think it's great news for fight fans.
Eddie Hearn, thank you for speaking to us at Boxing Social.